Hey guys, Colleen here. Welcome back to my channel. For those new, welcome. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell on your way out. Today I'm going to do an updated affordable makeup video. I will have to do this video in parts because I did film it earlier, and when I was looking at the footage I'm like, this is going to be way too long to be condensed in one video. So depending on how I do it, I may divide it into 4 separate parts. I will indicate in each video basically what I'm going to touch on in that video. This is basically an update of a video I did almost 3 years ago when I now started producing content on my channel. I will leave a little snapshot of what it looks like. Back then I did have one very long video. Of course, since then I have updated a lot in terms of the products that I have tried over the years. A lot of it is new, so it will be supplement to that video. My neighbors just decided to like knock out a wall next to me. Okay then. So anyhow, so I do hope you find this video series helpful in terms of selecting makeup. I mean, over the past 3 years we have been, as consumers, inundated with the amount of makeup releases out there, and really and truly, I don't know about you guys, but I physically and financially cannot keep up with all the trends. I have to pick and choose what exactly meets and suits my needs, in addition to tickling my curiosity and just, you know, humoring that aesthetic side of me. So basically my recommendations here are affordable makeup items, most of which can be easily sourced in Trinidad and Tobago. For those watching, I am located in Trinidad, and our situation is a little more peculiar than our American and European friends out there who basically could pluck these makeup items off a shelf. Most of the times we do have to order online certain makeup items, but the ones that we have readily available to us, I'm just giving you a roundup of what I think are really good affordable makeup items. And basically this series is to supplement that original video I did back in 2016. So yeah, let's just get into the varieties. So whew, starting to get warm, so let's just hustle up here. Now I'm gonna start in terms of the order we apply products to the face, just to make it simpler for those who are new and are following. Usually what you do before you apply any kind of makeup on your face is to prep your skin. I suggest you try and develop a decent enough skincare regimen, because how well you take care of your skin will definitely show up in how great your makeup looks at the end of the day. So your face, believe it or not, is your canvas. You need to make sure your canvas is flawless. I have a couple inexpensive skincare items. I don't know why I paused there. Skincare items that I think you may like, especially, you know, in terms of prepping the SKUs. Sheet mask, you know, on the skin. These are a couple of them. You can get these, you can get a lot of these at in Wonderful World or Pennywise. They typically range from like 12 to 40 TT dollars. And for those who's watching out there, I am from Trinidad and Tobago, so I may switch up in terms of currency. So I'll indicate basically what is TT or US I'm speaking about, but these are like 10 to 40 TT dollars. US probably a couple dollars, just to do the conversion rate for you guys. I typically get mine from the Shop Miss A website because you can buy 12 sheet masks for 10 US, which is, in my opinion, a steal of a deal. But again, for those who probably don't have a credit card or an online account or even like a skybox, you can hit up your Wonderful World or Pennywise for these, you know, bad boys. And they're really good at reviving the skin. You can also look at one of those wash off facial masks to apply on the skin. This one is from L'Oreal. This is one of the clay masks. This is good for controlling oils. This is a clay and charcoal mask in particular. It's good for controlling oils. For those wondering, I have combination oily skin. I have been taking good care of it, so it is not as oily as it typically would be, you know, but I do like to use those things to try and like cut down on the amount of oil production. Another great skincare item that I think you really should look into is a glycolic acid. This is really good for toning and exfoliating the skin. I got mine from Starlight. Starlight, in my opinion, has probably the best prices when it comes to any Pixie products. This I got for about 230 TT dollars. This is about 23 or 24 US dollars. You know, I know you can get this in Target or Walmart or even on Amazon, but I mean, I live in the Caribbean and this makes more sense for me to buy it here locally than to buy it online, and I'm really happy that Starlight carries it. Another good one is the e.l.f. Hydrating Water Essence. This is my third bottle. I love this. This is good for any skin type, whether you're oily or dry. Anybody with oily skin, please use this because your skin produces oil because it is dehydrated. And when it's dehydrated, it gets really oily, really gross, really icky. So kind of incorporate this in your skincare routine and you will see a significant result in terms of the amount of oil your skin produces during the course of the day. I'm sorry, somebody just passed there and I guess they probably don't know how to navigate the roads, you know, so this is really good. Another great find between then and now. I don't think this existed at the time I did the update video, the affordable video, and this is the L'Oreal Hydrogenous Gel. This one's for oily skin. There's one also for dry skin. This has long replaced my cult fave, the Clinique Dramatically Moisturizing Gel. She has become a stranger to me because this does the same thing or a fraction of the price. This is about 130 TT dollars. This is like 13 US. We usually do a 10-to-1 exchange rate. Even though the bank does 7-to-1, retailers do a 10-to-1. So usually we multiply by 10 to get our TT equivalent. But this is so good. It hydrates and absorbs in the skin. This does not interfere with my makeup whatsoever, and my skin is loving this. And this smells like a spa in a bottle. And of course, in terms of like facial sprays and mists, again, Pixie does it. This is the fixing mist with rose water and green tea. So these have good skincare properties in this. I like to use this to refresh my skin during the course of the day, or even to like refresh my makeup. And this is about 120 TT. This is again really inexpensive. You know, there are even cheaper ones out there, but this is like readily available. Starlight has this, so you can easily pop into like a Starlight and cop one of these. The others I like speak of are ones that I have not seen locally, but again, they are affordable. One being the e.l.f. Hydrating Coconut Mist. This actually, believe it or not, is a dupe for the Too Faced RX Hangover Spray Primer. Same scent, does same things in terms of hydrating the skin, giving the coconut probiotics, and just refreshing the skin. And I actually like this one over the RX because, again, price point. This is like, dare I say, $5-6 US. So as opposed to the RX, which is like 39 US. I mean, you can't go wrong. And another brand that is becoming a fast favorite of mine in terms of inexpensive products is the Wet n Wild. So I have the Wet n Wild new facial 3-in-1 water primers. I have coconut, coconut, cucumber, and rose. Out of them, I love the rose scent the most. I don't like the cucumber that much, surprisingly. And I think these are supposed to be a dupe for the MAC Fix Plus in terms of the scent, because I know MAC Fix Plus has these in the scent, you know. But I really like these. These are like 5 US. The only problem is I don't see a lot of local retailers selling this. I don't think you can get this locally. You have to go on the Wet n Wild website, but if you do, they are super duper inexpensive. They're always having sales. I use all of their discount codes, so I get this for even cheaper than their retail price. I think Trend Moods is like probably universally accepted everywhere, so just remember, type in Trend Moods and get probably like a good 10% off these things. But these are really, really nice, and this has made so much waves on the internet, especially after Jeffree Star did his video and it is now Jeffree approved. This is like the hardest makeup item to get, hands down, would you believe, and it's nothing expensive. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is like $8 US, and this, would you believe, is a dupe for the Tatcha Luminous, the Tatcha Silk Canvas primer. I did a video doing a comparison on the two a while back, even before Jeffree Star, so I will link it somewhere in the cards up here for you guys. If not, I'll have it linked below in the description bar. But this is really good. I particularly like it for my oily skin. I have demoed it and shown it using it for like a good 7-8 hours, and it actually held up pretty nicely. I know there are quite a few local Facebook sellers selling this now, coming out of those videos and, you know, that comparison, and I think it's about probably 100 TT, you know. So you could probably look into this. There's also the Revlon Color Stay Primer. I know a lot of people rave about that. It has not worked for me particularly. I don't know if it's the consistency or my application. Maybe I need to revisit it, you know. But this one works really, really well, and a little goes a long way. Now, one before would be the Revlon Color Stay. Of course, they have brought out more shades, and I actually have my correct shade now, which is 375 Caramel Toffee. Before I was using 400, and it was just a tad bit too dark for me, and I had to do some reverse contouring and color correcting to make it work. This one is a spot on match. So if you're my shade and NC45, this is the shade you should be looking at. Is the Wet n Wild Photofocus foundation. I use this in the shade Toffee Pecan, and this is a beautiful foundation. Like, I have used this so many times in my videos, and people will be like, wow, your skin looks slamming, and I'll be like, yeah, it's slamming, but the foundation helps too. And this one, at the time this was released, was about $5. I think it has since gone up to about 6 or 7 US. This one is not one that's easily sold or readily available in Trinidad and Tobago. You have to look for particular Facebook sellers who provide this, and even self, I don't know if they still do stock this, because you know how fads are, makeup fads are in as a whole, you know, one time you're in, next time you're out. I don't see this being sold a lot anymore, but this is a really good one to get. You can get it if you're buying it online. Buy it either from Walgreens, Walmart, Target, or the Wet n Wild, you know, website. Let's hold up is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir. I did a review on this. I use the shade 760 Classic Tan. Not that much, but I've been using this on a regular basis. I use this as a foundation for work whenever I wear makeup. But this holds up pretty well. The shade range is semi-decent for a, you know, drugstore makeup line. It's not the best. I think L'Oreal and Revlon have better shade ranges. CoverGirl is not that big in Trinidad yet. I think they only introduced it like a year or two ago. So I guess with enough traction, you might see more releases from this brand. But this is a really good foundation to try out. It was released last year. This is the Maybelline Superstay. If you're looking for a full coverage drugstore affordable foundation, the kind that you so full coverage you could hide the outside man with it, this is the foundation for you. Of course, this is not a matte foundation, so my problem is if I use this on its own, I do get a little oilier than I would like to. So what I do, I either use a very mattifying primer or powder the heck out of my face, or mix this with a mattifying foundation. But to mix it with this to get the coverage that I want, I use the shade 334 Warm Sun. I find this sometimes to pull a little too yellow on me and I look a little jaundicey. So sometimes I have to bronze the heck out of my face or get the shade higher up to mix with it so that I get a spot on, you know, shade match, because I am very funny when it comes to shade matching. I want it to look like the rest of my body, you know. I don't like the mask look. Another foundation that is really good to try out. I don't have it here because I finished a bottle and I didn't repurchase yet. That's the LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation. Pennywise and Wonderful World sells it. It ranges between $50 and $65 TT dollars. That foundation is a workhorse of a foundation. I did a demo on that foundation last year and I wore it for like 12 hours and that thing did not budge. I will leave a link for that review video and probably put a picture of it so you'll know what it is I'm talking about. There's two, but that one, the Pro Matte, oh my gosh, I would not necessarily recommend that foundation to anyone with dry skin. It may just simply emphasize your dryness, but for anybody who is as oily and as slick as the Bray Pitch Lake, that is a foundation for you. In terms of concealers, there's only two that I want to recommend. There have been others before, but I mean, these two, those can't compare to these two. The first being ColourPop No Filter concealer. I think this took the entire social media platform off guard. Like we weren't prepared when this released, because I remember when this released, this sold out instantaneously, and this has for me replaced a lot of my other affordable concealers. Like, I don't even bother with them, I just pull for this. This is like $6 US. There are a lot of local sellers selling this. If you're interested in getting this, there are like so many shades. It's like 50 or 60 shades of this concealer, which is like insane. You can find a concealer to highlight, to contour, to bronze, to actually use as foundation, to use as a lid primer. Anything you can think of, yeah. There's only one concealer that I want to try, and that is the Makeup Revolution concealer, which is supposed to be a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. You know, I have yet to try that. I don't know why I stick in. It's just that there's so many things again to like try out. You know, again, we are so inundated with makeup choices. Like, I don't think there's anybody out there who has tried every single thing as yet. You know, it's just crazy. But again, that is a really good concealer. It blends like a dream. It doesn't do weird stuff to your foundation, and the shade selection is on point. The next one, and this took a lot of brown girls a while to try out, and I'm happy they expanded the shade range. But again, as I stated in my review video for this concealer, they need to expand it even further, because this is really good. And that is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealer. I use the shade Golden, and this is such a beautiful concealer. This costs about $62 in Pennywise. Pennywise sells it the cheapest, so I would recommend you go to your nearest Pennywise to get this. This is like now I can understand why everybody was raving about it, but I couldn't at the point in time because I didn't have my color, you know what I mean? So I was kind of like, always felt left out of the party. Now I feel a little bit included in the party, but I want them to include all my other friends, because, you know, I can't be like the second or the third to darkest shade, you know what I mean? That's insane. There's so many other different colors and shades of melanin out there. We really need to like treat with everybody, you know, give some inclusion here. It's 2019. Let's include everybody in the party.